Good morning. God bless you, students. Now we are going to see a new lesson. The title of the lesson is Physical Divisions of India. Before getting to the lesson, my dear students, look at these pictures: mountains, plains, desert, plateaus, coastal plains, and this is islands. These are the topics we are going to see from this lesson. The landforms of our country vary from place to place. The surface of the earth is not the same everywhere. Some parts are flat while others are raised. These variations on the earth's surface are called landforms. My dear students, already we have learnt about the landforms in the 7th lesson. Can you remember? Okay, good. Let me read the intro part of the lesson. Natural features found on the earth's surface are called physical features. Mountains, hills, valleys, rivers, and lakes are some physical features. The physical features can be broadly classified into two types. Those are landforms, water bodies, mountains, hills, plateaus, plains, and deserts are the major types of landforms. Now, coming to the new lesson, Physical Divisions of India. Students, in this lesson, so many words are difficult to read. So listen the pronunciation also. Look at the map and observe the richness of India's physical features. The different colors denote the different physical features in the map of India. India is a peninsula. It is surrounded by water bodies on three sides and land on the other. The India is surrounded by the Arabian Sea in the west, the Bay of Bengal in the east, and the Indian Ocean in the south. This also already we have discussed in the ninth lesson. India is our country, so listen well and feel proud of our country. India can be divided into five major physical divisions. They are the northern mountains, the plains, northern and coastal, the western desert, the southern plateaus, and the islands. These are the five major physical divisions of India. Let's see about the northern mountains. The northern mountains include the Himalayas, the Karakoram range, the Purvachal hill ranges. Now we are going to see about the Himalayas. The Himalayas are the highest mountain chain in the world. Himalaya is a Sanskrit word which means the abode of snow. Here, the mountains are covered with snow throughout the year. These mountains stretch from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh, through Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, and Darjeeling in West Bengal. Most peaks remain snow covered throughout the year. Mount Everest in the Himalayas is the highest peak in the world. It lies on the border between Nepal and China. The Himalayas also act as a wall along the northern boundary of India. The Himalayas consist of three parallel ranges. They are the Greater Himalaya, the Middle Himalaya, and the Outer Himalaya. Let's see one by one. The Greater Himalaya is also called as Himadri. It is in the extreme north. The Greater Himalaya is the highest of the three ranges. It remains snow covered throughout the year. There is no vegetation. The climate is extremely cold. Glaciers are found in these mountains. Students, what is glacier? Blocks of ice called glaciers move slowly down the mountains and form rivers. Kanchenjunga is a very high peak in this range. The next one is the Middle Himalaya. It is also called as Himachal. The Middle Himalaya lies towards the south of the Greater Himalaya. It is lower in height than the Greater Himalaya. Hill stations such as Shimla, Mussoorie, Srinagar, Nainital, and Darjeeling are situated here. The last one is the Outer Himalaya. It is also called a Shivalik. The Outer Himalaya is located to the south of the Middle Himalaya. It is the lowest in height. It's covered with forest, home to several wild animals. People living on these hills practice terrace farming and grow fruits in orchards. Students, listen. The Greater Himalaya is also called as Himadri. The Middle Himalaya is called as Himachal. The Outer Himalaya is called as Shivalik. I hope you have understood. Next, shall we move on to the next one? The Karakoram Range. The Karakoram Range. The Karakoram Range to the northwest of the Himalayas. Beyond River Indus lies the Karakoram Range. Look at the map. Mount Godwin Austen lies in this range. It is the highest peak in India and the second highest peak in the world. Ladakh lies in this range. The next one is the Purvachal Hill Ranges. In the northeast are the Purvachal Hill Ranges. They are also known as the Northeastern Hills. They cover the northeastern states, namely the eastern part of Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, and Meghalaya. These hills are not very high. Garo, Khasi, Naga, Lushai, and Mizo hills are part of the Purvachal Hill Ranges. My dear students, I hope you would have understood this. Shall we move on to the next physical feature? That is the plains. My dear students, what is plains? Flat and low-lying lands are called plains. They are also called lowlands. Plains have fertile soil which is suitable for agriculture. Also, it is easier to construct road and railway tracks in the plains. Thus, more people live in the plains than in the mountains and plateaus. The plains of India include the northern plains and the coastal plains. First, we will see about the northern plains. The northern plains lie towards the south of the Himalayas. The northern plains is also known as the Indo-Gangetic Plains. It is thickly populated plain because here the land is very fertile. The northern plain is also called the rice bowl of India. The northern plain is also called the rice bowl of India as most of India's rice is grown here. They stretch from Punjab to Assam. They are formed due to deposition of silt by three major rivers Satluj, Ganga, and Brahmaputra and their tributaries. Thus, these plains are fertile and very good for cultivation. River Satluj and its tributary have formed the Punjab Haryana plains. These plains cover the states of Punjab and Haryana. Next, River Ganga and its tributaries have formed the Ganga Plain. Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal are part of the Ganga Plain. The next one, River Brahmaputra and its tributaries have formed the Brahmaputra Plain. It is in Assam. The northern plains gets over. Next, we move on to the coastal plains. The coastal plains. The plain that lies along the coast is the coastal plain. The plain that lies along the coast is the coastal plain. It is divided into western coastal plain and eastern coastal plain. These plains stretch from Gujarat to West Bengal. They cover some parts of the states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and West Bengal. The two coastal plains meet at Kanyakumari. First one, Western Coast Plain. The Western Coastal Plain lies between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea. It stretches from Gujarat to Kerala. It is divided into Gujarat coast, Konkan coast, and Malabar coast. Lagoons or backwaters are found along the Malabar coast. Lagoons means a lake that is separated from the sea by sand. Eastern Coastal Plain. The eastern coastal plain lies between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. It stretches from West Bengal to Tamil Nadu. It is wider than the western coastal plain. The northern part of this plain is known as the Northern Sakas. The southern part is called the Coromandel Coast. Now the second physical feature plains also gets over. So next we move on to the third one, desert. Now the third one is the western desert. The western desert lies to the west of the Aravalli range in Rajasthan. It is also called the Great Indian Desert or the Thar Desert. Students, here the Great Indian Desert, the Thar Desert are the same. The Great Indian Desert is otherwise called as a Thar Desert. It is rocky and sandy. At some places, sand dunes are found. Sand dunes means small hills of sand. So, dear students, what is sand dunes? Small hills of sand called sand dunes. Thar Desert occupies major part of western Rajasthan. This region is dry with little rainfall. Plants that require less water such as thorny shrubs, cactus and grow here. And here we don't find much vegetation. Dust storms are common here. The western desert stretches from the Rann of Kutch in Gujarat through Rajasthan to the borders of Haryana. We move on to the fourth physical feature, that is the southern plateaus. The southern plateaus are located to the south of the northern plains. They cover the states of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Maharashtra. They are triangular in shape and are surrounded by hill ranges. River Narmada divides the southern plateaus into two parts. The first one is the central highlands towards the north. The other one is the Deccan Plateau towards the south. First, we will see about the Central Highlands. The Central Highlands are surrounded by the Aravalli Range towards the northwest, the Vindhya Range towards the south, the Chota Nagpur Plateau towards the east, and the Rajmahal Hills towards the northeast. The Malwa Plateau lies in the center. The next one is the Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau extends from River Narmada up to the southern tip of peninsular India. Anamodi is the highest peak in this region. The Deccan Plateau is surrounded by the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. These Ghats meet at the Nilgiri Hills. The last major physical division is the island. Dear students, here the word islands S should be silent. So when you pronounce the word island, not island. Okay, now what is island? Let me tell you. The land surrounded by water on all sides is called an island. There are many small islands along the coast of our country. Away from the coast, there are two big islands groups. These are Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep. Andaman and Nicobar Islands, situated in the Bay of Bengal. There are about 300 such islands. The islands in this group are hilly. The next one is Lakshadweep. Lakshadweep is a group of islands in the Arabian Sea. These islands are flat. The Lakshadweep Islands are located near the Malabar coast, are small and only 27 in number. Only few islands in the Lakshadweep are inhabited by the human beings. Ring-shaped islands are called atolls. Students, with this lesson is over. I hope you have understood this. Let me tell you the important points you must know from this lesson. You should know that points. India can be divided into five physical divisions: the northern mountains, the northern and coastal plains, the western desert, the southern plateaus, and the islands. The northern mountains include the Himalayas, the Karakoram range, and the Purvachal hill ranges. The Himalayas have three parallel ranges: the Greater Himalaya, the Middle Himalaya, and the Outer Himalaya. The northern plains extend from Punjab to Assam. They comprise the Punjab Haryana plains, the Ganga plain, and the Brahmaputra plain. The western coastal plain and the eastern coastal plain are found along the western and eastern coast of India, respectively. The western desert is also called the Great Indian Desert or the Thar Desert. It covers a large part of Rajasthan. The southern plateaus are divided into the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. The Central Highlands lie between the northern plains and the river Narmada. The Deccan Plateau stretches from river Narmada to the southern tip of India. There are two island groups in India, Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweep. Okay, now I hope you will get a clear vision of it. My dear students, read the lesson clearly. Reads twice. Look at this page, page number 87. In this page, D. Think and answer, E. Picture study, G. Information gathering, and the next page, page number 88. In that page, H. Word search. These are homework for you. You have to write by your own. Thank you. God bless you, students.